Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be doing a Q&A. So I told you guys to send me questions on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, please pause this video and follow me on Instagram right now. But I told you guys to send me questions on Instagram, so I have them here. So let's start. But I first want to cover the basics. Like, who am I? Like I said, my name's Aliyyat, awful labby, but you can call me Ali. And I am 23 years old. I am Nigerian American. I grew up in Los Angeles, California, and I graduated in 2020 with a degree in biology honors. I always emphasize that honors part because getting honors in biology was very, very difficult. You guys already know how these science classes are. Like, they're stressful. So getting honors in biology, anytime someone asks me what's your major, I'm always like, I graduated with honors in biology, because I want to emphasize that part, especially because only one black woman in my class, aka me, graduated with honors in biology. So I'm gonna let people know and represent and tell people like, hey, I graduated with honors in biology. Now that we covered the basics, let's start with the first question. How do you stay motivated? Wow, guys, we are really jumping the gun. Okay, how do I stay motivated? I won't necessarily say that I'm motivated. I'll just say I have a lot of discipline. I grew up in a Nigerian household, and if you're unfamiliar with Nigerian culture, basically education is very important. We value education a lot, and at a young age, my parents really instilled discipline in me. They really taught me how to prioritize my education before anything else. So anytime, like in kindergarten, when that bell rang and everybody was playing on the playground, everyone was getting ready for their play date, I was completing my homework because my parents taught me that before I could have fun and play. I know you guys are like, oh my God, you didn't have a childhood. I had an amazing childhood, but before I can go play on the playground, I had to complete my homework. So, you know, them instilling those little principles within me, obviously, you pick them up, especially if you've been doing them for what? I'm 23 now, doing it since I was 5. For the past, is that 19 years? I can't do math off my top of my head, but for the past 19 years, I was doing these little rituals, and I feel like that's kind of how I stay disciplined and motivated. I'm just really trained I have to do my homework. Even though I don't want to, I just still do it because my parents kind of instilled those rituals in me. And that's why I say I'm disciplined, because I feel like the difference between motivation and discipline is that discipline is doing the things that you don't want to do on the days you don't want to do them. It's choosing to do your work rather than going out and party. Knowing hey, I have 5 exams next week. I probably should not be at Disneyland right now. It's kind of knowing when to, prioritize. And I feel like with motivation, it's more of oh, I wake up, I have this sudden burst of energy. Now I'm gonna do all this work. But what about on the days you don't have that energy, which honestly, I feel like it's often, especially as students in school, it's most of the time we don't have that burst of energy because we're so drained. So I feel like discipline is doing the things that you don't want to do when you don't have that burst of energy and just doing it. But what I would say is how I keep my sanity would be that definitely taking breaks and taking time for myself. So I like to schedule one day off just to relax. And I would also say is remembering my why. I feel like that's the one that really, really, really keeps me motivated. It really helps me on the days I don't want to study. Is remembering my why. Who am I doing this for? Why am I doing it for? Because honestly, my why has nothing to do with myself. And I personally feel like when you're doing something only for yourself, that's kind of how you can be easily just kind of give up, because okay, I can easily change something. But when you're doing it for something else, your why is bigger than you, I feel like that's kind of what keeps you going. And my why is way bigger than me. I also like to tell myself that 3 months from now, I can be in a whole different place if I just keep going, if I keep staying consistent. If I just get up at 8 a.m. and complete this homework assignment, I will be in a whole different position than where I am right now. And that also keeps me going. And also telling myself every morning when I wake up, one day or day one. What I mean by that is, one day I'm gonna decide to achieve my goals. One day I'm gonna decide to wake up at 8 a.m. or day one. Why not start today? And I always like to do the second option, day one. What's your skincare routine? Ooh, now on a lighter note, I felt like the last question I got a little bit deep. But my skincare routine, thank you for asking. Okay, basically my skincare routine is super simple. It's affordable. I think it's under $30, but I have like a morning and nighttime skincare routine. So my morning skincare routine, thanks to Hiram, Skincare by Hiram. If you don't know who he is, go follow him. He has the best skincare routines. But basically my skin is normal to dry. I think I'm more on the dry side. So in the morning, I use the Ordinary Niacinamide, the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid, and then I use the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel Serum, and then I use obviously the Neutrogena SPF 25. Yes, guys, please be wearing your sunscreen. We are not getting wrinkles at the age of 25, okay? We're gonna be looking young. I want us to be 50 years old, looking like we just turned 20, okay? That is the goal for the future. We wanna look 50, looking 20, okay? At night, what I use is lactic acid, niacinamide. I don't know if they go together. I think they do go together because I haven't broken out. But I use lactic acid from The Ordinary, niacinamide from The Ordinary, and then I use the Neutrogena Night Press Serum, and then I use the Neutrogena Water Gel Cream. And that's literally my skincare routine. I think both of them are like under $30 because I don't have $100,000 to be spending on my skincare routine. I do not have that amount of money, so that is what I use. Here's my Starbucks order. Okay, actually I have Starbucks right here. Hold up, let me take a sip. This is so good. Okay, my Starbucks order be changing every single day, every single week. I feel like I'm a new person, so my Starbucks order is always changing. But I don't like to drink coffee at all. It gives me really bad anxiety when I drink coffee, so I just don't drink it at all. But I would say like my top 3 Starbucks order are an iced chai tea latte with vanilla cold foam or salted cream foam. So that's like one order, so the iced chai tea latte. This order, my friend Angelica, shout out to Angelica, she told me about this and I've been obsessed. It tastes just like boba, but what it is, it's a black tea with no water, half oat milk, 4 pumps of brown sugar syrup, and salted caramel foam. This tastes like boba. This is like the best thing ever. And then if I'm not in the mood for a tea, I get an iced acai strawberry refresher with lemonade. How do you balance your social life and your studies? Oh my god, that's a great question, but I don't know if this is the right time to be asking me that because I have been dropping my friends like left and right. It's really bad. I've been ghosting people. But how I balance my social life and my studies is basically like I told you guys, at a young age, my parents instilled this discipline in me. Do your homework first, then have fun with your friends. So what I do is that I'm like a morning person. So in the mornings, I'll try to do all my work, and then at night, schedule time with my friends to kill, 2 birds with 1 stone. I think that's the saying. I will plan study dates with my friends where we can study together, and then on our breaks we can catch up, talk, and then when we're done studying, get lunch, kind of do things like that. So I'm still studying and completing my work. Also, I'm a Virgo, so I plan everything. So I make sure I'm really good friends with people that I can have a low maintenance friendship. And if you don't know what a low maintenance friendship is, a low maintenance friendship is basically you have friends that you guys are so close, you guys are best of friends, but you guys don't need to talk every single day. Like, we are busy, we have things to do, we have work, we're really busy people, and we don't take it personally. But on the days that we do hang out, it's like nothing changed. It's like we're still tight, we're still like this, you know what I mean? So most of my friendships are very low maintenance, where I can go long periods of time without talking to them, but they understand that I still love them, they are still my besties, but we have shit to take care of. What motivates you? I think my why is what motivates me to keep going, and I just feel like who I can be in 3 months. So if I keep going and I stay consistent, who I can be in 3 months is kind of what motivates me. And I just kind of think about that. I know a lot of people say like, okay, maybe that's why I have really bad anxiety, because anxiety is when you think about the future, right? And the depression is when you think about the past. And like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like a trade-off where like, think about my future, I do get anxiety, but also think about my future motivates me. Think about how I can be in a whole different circumstance if I just keep going and I, just get up today. But I definitely think my why and my dreams is what, motivates me. I've dreamt of being a doctor since I was like a little girl. And the why behind it and wanting to be just an advocate for underserved community is kind of just what keeps me going. And I think about those people and who I'm doing it for, and then I'm like, okay, you know, I keep going. And plus, like, being on social media and seeing what's happening around the world, like, that's my why. Like, that's who I'm doing it for. So every time I'm seeing that, I'm like, okay, you know what, I got so angry. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna put all this anger into my reading and my study because I don't want this to happen anymore. And I guess that's like how I stay motivated. What's your big 3? Okay, so my rising is a Gemini, my moon is a Pisces, and my sun is a Virgo. Obviously, you can see this is why I'm a hot mess. I think it's my moon. Okay, as a Pisces, this is why I'm very sensitive. But then my Gemini and my Virgo, like rising and sun, it's like I have this I don't care attitude, but I am sensitive because of the Pisces. So I feel like I'm just like a ticking time bomb. So the next question is, what have you struggled the most with? Oh my God, we are getting so deep, but I am here for it. What I struggle with the most. So I do struggle with a lot of things, but I guess the biggest one, which leads to like my other 2 struggles, is that I don't believe in myself. I know that's really surprising. What? Yes, I don't believe in myself. And because of that, it has led to like other problems, which is me caring a lot about what other people think and me always having to seek validation. And I feel like because I have that, this mentality of like always caring about what people think, I feel like it has stopped me a lot from reaching my full potential and doing things that I actually enjoy. Like, I always have thoughts like, oh, I want to do this, but oh my God, what if people are judging me? Or what if that? Like, even when I first started TikTok, I was so scared about what people were going to think. Like, oh my God, are they going to think I'm childish? But having the support system from you guys have been so amazing, where like it keeps me going. Anytime I see your comments about how you're motivated or how I inspire you, it keeps me going. But I kind of, once again, that's the validation coming from external factors. Like, I want to be internal validated. I wanted to be able to do it for myself, not, you know, for other people. So I kind of struggle the most with those things. But this year I am taking my power back and I'm working on combating those things. And I feel like the reason why I care so much about what people think, why I don't believe in myself, why I need external validation, is because of my ego. If you're unfamiliar with what your ego is your defense mechanism. And it's the one that just tries to protect you. And then you have your higher self. And all your life, your ego is the one driving, and your higher self is in the passenger seat. And your ego kind of stops you from doing things like, oh my God, what if like someone's judging you and all that? That's your ego, because it's trying to protect you. It doesn't want you to get hurt. But it's time for us to have our higher self in the driver's seat and our ego in the passenger seat, because your higher self is the one that feels like you can do anything in the world. You can make $1 million in 1 year. Like, it believes you can do anything you put your mind to, and you kind of want that to be in the driver's seat. And what I tell myself anytime is like, okay, oh my God, I really don't want to do this, but what would the higher version of myself want? My higher version would not care about what people think. My higher version of myself would not care to lose friends because I'm doing something I love. My higher version self won't care if someone cuts me off because I was straight up with them. So then I go ahead and I do it anyways. And as you keep practicing it, kind of like the fake it till you make it, soon your higher self will be taking control of your life and your ego will be in the passenger seat. What age do you want to get married? Oh, we're talking about marriage? There's not really like an age that I want to get married. So if you guys are unfamiliar, I have a boyfriend. If you follow me on Instagram, there's probably like one picture with me with him. I don't really like to have him on my Instagram because I'm the main character. I've been in a relationship for 3 years, and me and my boyfriend, we talked about like how we would get married in 5 years from when we're dating. So now around 3 years. I guess we have like 2 more years left if we're still together. But I guess for me, an ideal age that I would like to get married is 26. Because also, like, unfortunately, as women, we have like a certain, if you want kids, like, we have like we have a clock, like a reproductive clock. Like, what the hell? Like, men don't have that. Like, why do we have to go through so much but men don't? I'm like, but we have like a reproductive clock, which is like at a certain age, like, what is it, 30? After 30, it's gonna get harder to have kids, or our kids are more likely and prone to get some like diseases. So I think my ideal age of getting married is maybe like 26, but I also like want 1 year of like being a fiance, because I don't want to jump into things, 1 year being fiance, then 1 year of being like kidless, because like once kids come into your life, like they're a hot mess. You know what I'm talking about? So I guess I would say like 26, 25, and 23. I'm gonna say 26 because I feel like that's safe. But don't worry, you guys will all be part of, if there's a wedding, I'm gonna document it. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be on a reality TV show, so you guys can all be part of it. Actually, you guys will all be invited to the wedding, okay? You guys are all invited to the wedding. What are your future plans? Ooh, okay. So my future plans is to go to medical school, become a doctor. I also want to get into like investing, so kind of maybe invest in like real estate and stocks. I have like a lot of hobbies. I also want to hopefully like grow my social media because I like motivational like speaking. I'm also interested in tech now. I know, guys, like what? I'm like all over the place. Maybe like get into tech, maybe do some medical consulting, being like a doctor, part of like a big tech company and helping out with that. And somehow, I don't know how I would be able to do that, but maybe finding a way, maybe biotechnology. So I would say those are my future plans. Obviously, I also want to have like a family. How many kids I want? 2. I'm hoping they're just twins. If I have twins, then I'll have a third one. But if I don't have twins, then I probably just had 2. What's something expensive you always buy? Chick-fil-A. I'm always at Chick-fil-A. Like, they put something is in that chicken because it's just so addicting. But I feel like Chick-fil-A is really expensive. Does your iPad make your study routine easier? Honestly, okay, so I got my iPad during the pandemic. So I never experienced like studying with my iPad in a lecture hall, but studying with my iPad makes school fun. Like it makes studying fun because I like make aesthetic notes and it keeps things organized. I also learn a lot by writing my notes. So if you write your notes a lot, you should definitely get an iPad. What's cool about an iPad is that like on the Notability app, you can record your lectures, and as you write and then you look back on your notes, you play the recording and what you wrote like lights up as you go through the lecture, and it's pretty cool. I think iPad also helps, especially like with online classes. Like if your class is like open notes, your exams, you can literally like search up terms and it'll come up. So I would definitely say like iPad does make studying easier. I really like it, it makes it fun. What music do you like listening to? Who's your favorite artist? My music taste changes. My favorite artist is, okay, my favorite band is One Direction. I love them so much. My favorite artist is Meg Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, but Nicki Minaj before Meg Thee Stallion. And I guess you'll say rap. I kind of like rap. I like pop. I would say I listen more to pop music than rap music. What has been your biggest achievement so far? I think my biggest achievement, I would definitely say hitting 50,000 followers on TikTok, as well as like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I just say that's my biggest achievement so far because I started these accounts to heal my inner child, and I just never thought that like I would be able to get my name out there like socially, like where even though it's just 1,000 people and it's just 50,000 people, but to me that's a lot. I just never thought that I would be able to like inspire so many people and have this many people wanting to subscribe to me and people follow me. So I think that is very like one of my biggest achievement, because all I was doing was being myself, and somehow that like made people want to like, you know, follow along my journey. So I think that's really cool, and I think that's my biggest achievement because it really showed that I could do anything I put my mind to, and that all I have to do is just be myself and I'll find the right people. Being myself will bring the people that I want in my life to me. What are the top medical schools in your list that you want to go to? So I don't really have a dream medical school. I know that's like really like shocking, but I didn't even have a dream college list because I'm a big believer in it's not about where you go, it's about what you do there. There can be people at like the top schools in the world, the #1 school in the world, and they didn't do shit. Like they didn't make an impact at all. They are like nothing, you know what I mean? Like just didn't do anything. But they went to these big schools. Like they didn't have any internships. They didn't like make connections. They just went to the top schools. But there can be people who went to like, you know, schools that weren't, you know, that weren't like that top. You know, I feel like every school is good, but they didn't go to like, you know, the #1 school in the world, but they made an impact at their school. They got all these, they took advantage of every opportunity that came their way. They networked and they still made an impact. So I wouldn't say that I have a top medical school in my list. Yeah, I don't have a dream medical school right now. I know that's really sad. I don't. whatever one gives me a full tuition scholarship, a full ride is where I'm going. That would be my dream school. If you're gonna give me free money to go to medical school, you're my dream school. I want you. Winter or summer? Winter. I like summer, but it's too hot. Like, no matter what I do, I'm always hot. But for winter, I feel like even though it's really cold, you can still find ways to keep yourself really warm. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you turn on the heater and all of a sudden you're warm. But in like the summer, you turn on the AC and you're still pretty hot. I don't know if that's just me, if you guys can relate. So I would definitely say winter. I also feel like the holiday, Christmas holiday, it's just such a cute holiday. It's just such like a, you know, a good vibe. But the only thing I don't like about winter is the time change. So if you live in like the US, there's a time change and it gets dark earlier in the winter, and I hate that. Like, I literally hate it with a passion. So I would say that's the only negative, but I definitely would choose winter over summer any day. What has been your favorite memory so far since creating your channel? Meeting you guys. Like, honestly, just being able to inspire you guys, seeing your comments about how you guys do well in school, seeing your comments about how I motivate you, seeing your comments saying like, wow, you just motivated me to study, seeing you guys just, I don't know, just being able to talk to you guys and communicate with you guys and just meet people from all around the world is probably my favorite memory. What inspired you to start a YouTube channel? I started my YouTube channel, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, to heal my inner child. I've always wanted to do YouTube, but growing up, like, I didn't have a camera to film on, and I didn't even have a phone. Actually, I didn't even have a laptop, so how was I able to edit my videos? And then when I got to college, I was kind of really busy with school, and I think the pandemic allowed me, like, once the pandemic hit and I was like out of school for like 2 weeks, everything was like online, it allowed me to really slow down, pick up my hobbies again, and start, you know, this YouTube channel. I really wanted to heal my inner child in 2021, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna create a YouTube channel. I'm gonna start creating videos on TikTok, and it made me so happy. So that's kind of, and then I saw how I was like inspiring a lot of people and motivating other people, and it kind of like motivated me to keep going. First subject you took? Biostats. Literally the worst class ever. My professor was literally I'm not gonna say the word, but that's what he was. I mean, I remember on the first day he told us, he was like, we want to do stats. Literally only 4% of you are gonna go to medical school, and the rest of you are gonna be broke because you can't get a good job as a biologist. I'm like, dude, you're literally a professor. Like, please be quiet. Also, it was just really difficult. Like, we had 50 minutes to solve a bunch of problems. There is no study guide. On top of that, we also had lab exams, and we'd have exams like on the same week. So we'd have our class exam and also big lab exams where it's like about excelling R and like coding. It was just so difficult. Like, I hated that class. I just remember being so sad every time I had to step foot in that class. That was the worst subject ever. My biggest pet peeves. Fake people. Like, I don't even know if that's a pet peeve, but I hate fake people. Like, I get so irked whenever I see someone being fake. I'm like, why can't everyone just be straight up? Like, if you don't like someone, be straight up. Like, there's so many people around, like, out here pretending to be friends with people just because they don't want to be lonely. Like, knowing you don't like someone and you're still their friends. Like, I think that's my biggest pet peeve. I would also say my pet peeve is if someone's always constantly talking bad about someone, but they still hang out with them. Like, that rubs me off the wrong way. I'm like, ew, like, weren't you talking shit about that person, like, yesterday? But why are you acting like you guys are best friends? Like, why can't everyone just be real and upfront with people? You know what I'm talking about? Or, like, if you don't like someone, stop kicking with them. Stop hanging out with them. Like, it's not that hard. How do you balance social media account and being a badass scholar at the same time? Oh my God, you're so sweet. Honestly, it doesn't really take like a lot of like balancing. I think I got lucky because on TikTok, I was able to gain a lot of following for my niche, which was studying. And I study all the time. I do my schoolwork. So it's kind of nice that for my social media, all I have to do is film. What I'm literally doing is studying for my class. And I can be able to, like, you know, gain followers and get paid for that. So there was not a lot of balancing that happens for that. But basically, all I do is just, I like to film on my break days. So I basically just do everything on my break days. On my break days, I film. That's when I plan the content that I want to post. Or, you know, after I'm done studying, I will film like maybe for 2 hours and then like edit the next day. But basically that's how I balance. A lot of time management. Like, if you haven't seen my time management video on YouTube, definitely watch it because I really break down how I like time manage everything. Is there a specialty you want to go into? Okay, so I want to be an OB-GYN for now. I feel like when I go to medical school, I really find out what type of specialty like I really want to do when I rotate throughout the floors. But once again, like, I have a lot of interest. So right now I'm like, okay, I want to be an OB-GYN, or I want to be a dermatologist, or I want to be like an ENT, like an ears, nose, throat surgeon, because that one also goes with dermatology. So I'm like torn between those things. Maybe plastic surgery, so I can do my own BBL on myself. I'm just kidding. But I've been torn between like a lot of professions. But I guess the number one since I was little was be an OB-GYN. But I'm also want to be a urologist, because I would love to do gender reconstructive surgery. I think that's super cool, and I really want to be like there for the trans community. What is your study routine before lectures, during lectures, and afterwards? Oh, okay. So I guess I can do a video on this to go into deeper, but like just to sum it up, basically before lectures, I do nothing. I just print out the lecture notes and I show up to class. I don't read the book or nothing. I just show up to class, okay? And then in lectures, because I have my lecture notes, I take notes on anything my teacher is constantly talking about for long. Like if he's talking about it more than 10 seconds, I'm literally like 1, 2, okay, it's important. I write notes on the lecture notes about that topic. And then afterwards, what I do is I transfer the lecture notes into my own words. So like I'll copy it into a notebook and I'll summarize like each point. So make into a summary on my iPad or like on Google Docs. And I will be posting like a TikTok video about that, of how I make like my outlines, and that's it. Usually like when after I make my summary sheets, I also make sure to add questions. Like I add questions that maybe my professor might ask me on a test, and like trap answers to it. And I do a lot of practice problems to test my knowledge on those lecture notes. I'll look them up on like Google, or usually my professors will provide practice problems, so I'll like solve them to test my knowledge. Thank you guys so much for all your questions. I hope I was able to answer it. There were so many questions, like I didn't expect to get all those questions, but I want to say thank you, and I'll definitely be doing more Q&As. And I want to say thank you so much for supporting me, and thank you for being part of my journey. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. Bye.